Good morning from Simply Media and Diva Brown, the publisher. We think it's important that we talk about the good stories, not the bad ones. My father was a professor of English, and he used to say, don't waste your time writing about what you don't like. I mean, why throw tomatoes at things you don't like? Let others do that. Talk about what's good. Talk about what you like, what you're interested in, and things of that kind. Well, this is one, public domain. People often miss that the media usually talks about what doesn't work and rarely talks about what does work. Well, why is that? It's not innate evil. It's that we tend to watch plane crashes and bad weather. When the weather's sunny and good, we just enjoy it. When the air is clear and planes aren't crashing, well, we like to fly. The point is that good news stories deserve some attention, and public domain is one. This is an area that is a balanced area, very American, and this is why that's true. An inventor gets a monopoly for 17 years with a patent. That may be slightly too short, but it's usually long enough for a good invention to take some form and do well. At the end of the 17 years, it becomes royalty-free or public domain, meaning anybody can use it, which means the public had granted a monopoly, but not forever, and for 17 years, and now it comes back. Now you can see that with medicines and all kinds of things really taking form. I take two small medicines, and it's less than $50 a year now. Well, why is that? Well, it's public domain, and we're now up to 2002. And of course, if you have a company like Costco that you use, they will recommend the best public domain for you to use to go from a higher priced item. Don't worry about the drug companies. They made their money at the front end, and the generic companies make it on the back end, and it's darn cheap and simple. There's an example. The patent area has been very good. Now, the media area is not, and it's simple enough to say this because the Clintons are not running for president anymore, or at least it appears that way. And in 1998, Bill Clinton and the Democrats gave an extension to public domain and media from 75 years to 95. Now, the reason that's important is back in 1998, Mickey Mouse was going to go public domain, and that was very, very important to Disney. Not as important today, but it was very important then. And the great American novels and works are from about 1923 to 1934. Well, the publishers in New York live off these books because it's an annuity. Agatha Christie sold her setup and all her books after she was long since dead. She died in 1975, but the family sold it before the public domain was extended, and it was $1.1 billion. After public domain was extended 20 years until this year of 2019 in January, it was sold for $6.7 billion. So you can see that's a big number. Well, this time around, nobody was interested in extending it, and so it didn't get extended under Trump and the new Congress. Therefore, the great works of American writing are coming into the public domain. What does that mean for you? That means for you that you get to read great books for 90% less money, not a small thing. And our audiobooks, which we put out, 59 so far, are also 90% less than they were before January 1 this year, 2019. So everybody gets to benefit from this except the annuity people who had the rights long after the principals died. This is not a small thing, particularly because in a year and a half, Gatsby, the #1 book in public schools, is going to save all those schools 90% because on 2001, January 1st, It comes due and away it goes. And then the genie's out of the bottle. No matter who becomes president, even if some of the Democrats do, they can't put that genie back in. And so those books will go. Now, I'm not saying the Democrats will propose it. They may not. But the point is, it's a safe thing. And what else? Well, The American Tragedy. An American Tragedy by Dreiser is the second best-selling book. It too goes public domain. So this is good news because the government has created a monopoly for a period of time, but then takes it away. We, of course, benefit in this business because all the things we've done are long, long tales because they won't go public domain for 70 years or so. Anyway, that's what's going on. Think about public domain. Think about what a good job the Congress did and Trump did not to extend public domain once again. As Sandra O'Connor said, the great jurist who was a moderate person, she said, it's a terrible law. This is back in 1998. But Congress and the president approved it, so it is the law. That's the way I think the jurists should be. Congress did it, the president signed it, it should be as they wanted, if it's constitutional. And of course it's constitutional. There's nothing about that that's irregular or wrong. You may disagree with it, but I thought that was a moderate and a good legacy for her. So that's it from Simply. If you're interested in this, take a look at simplymedia.com and find our customers and search it. We're on Audible and Walmart, and we're on Google and elsewhere. And we try to be affordable too. Thank you from Simply.